This time at the Quick Speed Shop, I'm building a custom storage box to hold the jack and other tools under the floor of the bed on the Model A hot rod shop truck. I'm a professional, don't try this at home. Okay, before I get going too far here, I just want to show you what I did between the last time video and this time. I went to Harbor Freight and I bought this truck Bedliner coating here. Can you see it? Where are you? Bam! And it's $50 a gallon. It's pretty much like pure rubber in a can. It's real thick and liquidy, but it's made in USA. Iron Armor truck Bedliner coating. And I was going to use Herculiner on the bottom of this truck bed because I always like to have rubber between the frame and like in the inner fender wells and stuff. So I usually use Herculiner. That's about $90 a gallon. And I was looking for it in the auto parts store in a quart because I didn't need that much. And I ended up going to Harbor Freight and buying this can for a gallon for $50 for the gallon. So I tried it out. It worked pretty good. I just brushed it on. I put on 2 coats, and it doesn't have the big rubber chunks in it like Herculiner does, but it's still a rubberized coating. And you can see the brush strokes. I don't know if you can see the brush strokes, but I put it on here. Hopefully it'll add a little abrasion resistance and just give a little rubber feel in between the frame and the truck bottom of the truck bed. I don't like the way it looks here. I wouldn't use it in the actual inside of a truck bed because it seems like it scratches pretty easy and all that. But for like coating inside of fenders and like fender lips and the bottom of this box, I think it's going to be cheaper to use that stuff, and it seems to look all right. Definitely when I put the fenders on a truck, I'm going to use it and I'm going to paint the inside of the fenders with it. That'll stop from stone chips and help sheet water off it and stuff. But the box is all completely done now. It's all painted all the way around. I even painted the tailgate chains. So before we bolt this back on the truck, I want to go over here on the frame, and I think we're going to try to make up that storage box I talked about. Alright, so over here in the frame, this is where I want to put the storage box. One of the last frame videos, I welded this piece of 1-inch tubing across here. I used it to gusset up my shock mounts. And it's also going to give an extra support for the battery box over here. We're going to add a piece of like flat stock to go from here down to the battery box to help hold that from flexing around because it's only mounted up here in the front right now. But the storage box is going to fit right down in here. It's going to tie in, fill up most of this area, so it'll probably be, let's get a tape measure and see. Where is it? Bam. Probably going to be about, let's see here, from there to there, 12 inches by 11 inches. How deep can we go? How deep is this? 10 inches. So we'll make it 10 by 11 by 12. That'll give pretty good storage. It'll give plenty of room for a little bottle jack to go in here and lug wrench and some other tools. It's going to be up flush here. The lid of the box somehow will get in the floor. Either the wooden floor will open or I'll have a removable panel here. But it'll be flush to the top of this, and then I'm going to have some drain holes in the bottom. So if any water gets in from here, it'll drain out the bottom. So let me dig in my sheet metal pile and see what I got and sketch this up a little bit, and we'll make it here and get it mounted. Okay, so I found a piece of 18 gauge, I think here. 18 or 19 gauge, and I've laid out the box here. So being 12 by 11, what I've done is I made 4 panels, 12, then 11, so this would be long dimension, obviously 12, and then 11 for the end, and then 12 for the other side, and 11 up here. I cut these diamonds out of the corners, and I've measured in 1 inch on either side, so up on the top, this flange will bend out and sit on the frame rail, and this 1-inch flange on the bottom will bend in, and then we can put a bottom panel in it. And I've made the bend lines here so the brakes, so I can break this thing up, make a 4-sided box. I've just got the cheap Harbor Freight brake, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do it, or I might have to do it by hand. I'll probably have to bend these flanges by hand using 2 pieces of angle iron clamped together. But I think I can bend up the box, the 4 pieces of the box pretty much on the thing. And I've also done a 1/2-inch lip over here on this side, which will bend over and be the weld seam to weld up the corner of this box. So I'm going to get my air shears, I'm going to cut this out, nibble out these other corners, and then we'll go over to the break and see if we can break this thing up and make it into a box. Okay, I've already got the little 1/2 inch edge broke up here, and I've done the first bend. And I'm about to do the second bend here. Let's see what we get here. That's about good. This is going to be the tricky part. It's getting this thing to maneuver around here enough to make the box. Look at that, a box. Bam. Now, see if I can get it out of here. Bam, it's all a game of shapes. Got a box. With this flat like this on the table, I think I can go ahead and clamp it. Maybe we'll put a couple of sheet metal screws just to hold this together in the shape of the box for now. That would probably be the hot setup. Get in here and give her the clamp posts. There we go, self-tapping screws, the poor man's Klinko. Bam, there's our box. Of course I can't fit it in here, son of a gun. Self-tapping screws have boned me. I'll get an idea how it's going to look anyways. Okay, what I've done here is I used a piece of flat stock and I've clamped it to the plywood. And I got these big wide pliers here. I'm going to start by trying to bend the slit down. Oh yeah. Just going to work it with these wide vice grips, get it working. And then if I have to, I can finish it up by tapping with a hammer, because I won't be able to bend this all the way with these pliers because it'll interfere with the wood on the back. But this is working out good. It's going to bend it down like so. Looks like I can get after it pretty good. I can just work it with my body hammer. Like so. You can see there, just like that, put the flange right onto it. What I'm doing on the other two edges here is I'm hemming over the edge. Just I trimmed it down to 1/4 inch, and I'm hitting it on the steel here. I've hammered it all the way over flat. Boom. Now I got a little 1/4 inch hemmed up edge here. I'm just going to hammer it the rest of the way over and fold it down. My thumb's still sore from the last video, if you saw that, where I smashed it. Still sore when I'm hammering. It's killing me. But it's hammer time. It's hammer time. So there we go. With these two edges hemmed over here, it gives nice strength to the side of the box. And then I'll use these two flanges and mount it down in there. Now all I got to do is bend the lower section of this over the same way using my clamps and hammer it on the thing here. Bend this over, then I'll cut a piece to put in the bottom. Alright, to bend up the bottom edge here, I've gone and clamped some flat stock down to the table, and I'm simply taking it and rolling the box up like this as far as I can go. I can only go so far before I run out of action. I didn't bend quite. Got it a little carried away because of the corner. That's alright. But I'm just bending it up 3/4 of the way or halfway with the steel like that, nice and straight, and then I'll take the hammer and the pliers and I'll bend this over the rest of the way 90 degrees, and we'll have our good flange all the way around here. Alright, I finished bending over the bottom here. I got it to 90 degrees. You can see that the relief cuts I cut originally have closed up. I'll be able to weld those closed. And I had to take the one screw out because I was fitting it in there, but it's nice and pretty square, and it fits the frame good. So now I just got to, what I'm going to do first is weld up this seam so I can set it down in the frame and trim any bracketry, and I got to trim a little bit on the corner of the frame to get this thing all dialed in. And then once it's squared up and fit up in the frame how it fits, I'm going to cut the piece for the bottom, drill a couple holes in it, then weld that in here, and the box will be complete. I think I'll take some of that Bedliner material that I used on the bottom of the box and coat the whole inside of this with rubber, so when the tools bounce around in here and stuff, they won't rattle, and they'll keep some of the wear down like that. But these flanges will sit on the frame and hold it, all the weight from there. I'm going to drill in through the side of this and use some nut certs into the frame, and it's probably a couple of 1/4-20 bolts. Just screw it into the frame, screw it into the support bar from the inside of 1/4-20 bolts, and then the flanges will hold all the weight, and this thing will be pretty awesome. I'll just paint it black, and it'll disappear right down there under the truck. Bam! Look at that! It sits in here nice. It sits perfect. I trimmed the frame piece out just a little bit here and made it slip over. But this is going to work out awesome. It's going to be plenty big enough, and it seems to fit good. We've got like 1 inch or so clearance to the drive shaft. That should be plenty. Alright, I'm welding the bottom on the box now. I cut it out of the same 18 gauge, and I left a 1/4 inch overlap, and I didn't have any way to clamp it on the inside. I was going to put it on there so it sat on this lip, but I didn't have any way to squeeze it together real good. And up here I can press down and hold it tight while I weld up the gaps. So I'm just going to like skip lap weld it all the way around, and then just seam seal this up on the inside and the outside when it's done, and grind it down smooth, and it should be good to go. So it's coming out good. This box is going to be awesome. I give it a little tap. It's actually sealed up pretty good here. Pretty much got it. It looks good. I've welded up all my corners, so I can hit them on the grinder, hit all this with the grinder to smooth it up, and then we'll take a look at it over there in the frame. Alright guys, check it out. It looks pretty good. It sits in here nice. I went ahead and I threw the battery in just so you can get an idea of what we're going on here for. We're using all this extra storage space to store the battery and the toolbox. So what I'm going to do next is drill a couple of holes in the front of this here, and then probably maybe just one in the back. Yeah, one would probably hold it. And then get out my nut cert tool, put a couple of nut certs into the frame rail, and then just some 1/4-20 bolts to bolt through here, and and it'll bolt it down good and it'll be ready to go. Come on out of there! And I drilled the holes in the frame here for our nut certs. They're 1/4 nut certs, and I got a 23/64 hole drilled in the frame there. So I'm just going to come into my tool right here, extend it out, put the nut cert into the hole. Let's see, how can I do this? Oop. I gotta turn it so I got some handle action. I bought this tool here, Astro 1442. I bought this on Amazon. I did a video on it. You can look up top here, bink, and check it out. But it works awesome. So now I can bolt the box right in. That's just finger tight, but to get the idea, that's going to bolt in there perfect. These ledges will be up here on the frame to take the load, and when I pull lock washers on here, this thing will be good to go. So I just got to punch a hole, a drain hole, or a couple of drain holes in this, and then get it seamed up and primered and ready for some satin black, chassis black paint, and I think it'll be pretty much all set. I was thinking about the top of this. I might just cut a piece of foam, expandable foam, just to put in here, and it'll keep the dirt and debris out. You know, cut it bigger than it needs to be, and just wedge it in here, and that would keep most of the water out and the dirt out of here, and then I could simply take it out. I think it's going to be the best thing to do. Simple and easy, and it'll work good and seal it up better than any kind of lid without a seal. But bam, we got a storage box ready to rock and roll here. One of my first items here, I was over at Lowe's, and on the trailer shelf there, they had this 2-ton bottle jack in a carrying case. All self-contained, and it was on sale. It's super dusty, so obviously it's been there for quite a long time, but they had it marked down to $11, and I thought this will be perfect for the storage box. I bet it fits right down in here perfect too. Oh, look at that. Bam! I'm going to get a lug wrench and put that down in here, and I think I'm going to just go to Harbor Freight and measure, you know, this is 12 by 11 by 10 deep. I'll get some kind of cheap tool set that's in a plastic box and put that down in here, and a couple of screwdrivers and all that, and then I'll have a complete little tool set for any breakdown action on the road. I'll be covered, and I'll probably put some fuses and some other miscellaneous stuff, electrical stuff. I'll put that in Ziploc bags and seal it up good here. But it's always, you can never have too much storage on your hot rod or your Jeep or any other your daily driver. It's always good to have storage, and this truck has no space to store stuff, so we just made a storage box to put essentials in a non-essential area. And if you look from the back of the truck, you see the box and the battery tray are the same height, and they disappear under the truck because the gas tank hangs down and the rear end and all that. Essentially everything disappears, so it's the best place to store stuff. So this is pretty much done, and the only thing I need to do with the battery is I got a piece of flat stock. I'm just going to make a little bracket from this bar down to the front edge of this to hold that, and then I can get the battery mounted up on and paint this, and then we're ready to bolt the box on for the final time here. I also have to change a pinion seal. I keep forgetting to do that. You know what? I'm going to do that before I put this in, because it'll be a lot easier to get to with all this jazz in the way. So I'll kick that out, change the pinion seal, and then I think we'll be ready to install the box, hopefully for the final time, and start doing some more other assembly action here on the Model A Hot Rod Shop truck. So I guess that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I'm putting out new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. Hit the blue bell for alerts. Tell your friends. Let's try to grow the channel in 2020. And we'll see you right back here at the Quick Speed Shop for fabricating, hot rod building, snow plowing, cold starting, whatever else is going on here at the Quick Speed Shop. Look, my thumbs up thumb is almost back to normal. It's about 62.5%. Almost ready for action.